Linda Black is doing Project 3 from the Communication on Video Manual. When you're the host, when you are the host. Speech is titled Live Life with Aroca, 5 to 7 minutes. Linda Black is a speaker, trainer, holistic health coach, certified yoga instructor. She teaches mindful practices both inside and out of the studio with an emphasis on taking yoga into corporations throughout Utah. Today, Linda will be your host on a simulated talk show. Appearing on her show is guest Aroca from Spanish Fork. Welcome Linda Black and Aroca.
Welcome to our show.
Wait just a second. I'm confused as who's evaluating you.
Okay.
You are? So was I
No, she's evaluating me, and you're
Okay.
evaluating Eric.
Okay, good. Thank you for that
Start over.
clarification.
Oh, I stopped.
Thank you for that clarification. Okay, welcome to our show. I am so excited today to introduce to you the man behind the book, Live the Life You Have Always Imagined. Eric Aroca, as many of you know, is a fellow Toastmaster, but did you also know that he is an award-winning speaker and the author and a master storyteller? He has a passion for helping organizations and individuals to live the life they have always imagined. Please give it up for Eric Aroca. Yes, all the way from Salem today.
Yeah, all the way. A whole 20 minutes away.
Salem, it seems like so far out there.
It is.
You know, I love this title, Live the Life You Have Always Imagined, and I've heard you say it in some of your speeches, and I know it's kind of a cornerstone, but can you tell me, I'm really curious, how this came to be? The title, the whole story behind it.
So I wanted to write a book, but I just didn't think that I lived an interesting life. Like, I'm not an Olympic athlete. I was a mediocre athlete at best in high school. I've never had anything really tragic happen in my life, and so there's just a whole bunch of things I've never done. Like, I've never climbed Mount Everest, right? So I just kind of live an average, kind of mundane, boring life. And I thought, I really want to write a book, but what am I going to write about when I haven't done any of these things? And then it occurred to me one day that the life experiences that I've had, most of them have been life-changing experiences, at least the ones that really stand out. And I wanted a format where I could share those experiences with people, with others. And that's where the whole mindset of Live the Life came about, because I wanted to share with people how they could live the life they have always imagined. Because let's face it, most people are not living that life. There's
Right.
very few people that you'll meet that say, oh, I'm living the dream. Oh yeah, there's very few people. And I wanted to just share with them the principles that they have to live by that have helped me to live the life that I always imagined, which I'm currently living, so it's
You
awesome.
touched on a little bit on how we think that we haven't had this terrific life or nothing to write about. I found the stories and the ingenious way that you put this together very inspiring to me. And it you know, you didn't lose a limb, you didn't go to war or
Yeah.
whatnot, but it was very inspiring anyway. And just to be telling people that they can go for what their dreams are, even if they're a normal person,
Yeah.
I think is super important.
Yeah. I mean, we're all normal people, right?
Yes.
We're all normal people in our own way. And so it's really just about, can you explore those life-changing moments in your life? Can you identify them? And if you can identify them, I've learned that we all live amazing lives. Because my life is different than your life. But just the same, it's been an amazing life. And so it's really about identifying those small moments that make our lives amazing and
you have 8 things in this book, and I love how you put this together. You have 8 ideas for people to follow, and then there's a little challenge at the end of each chapter
Yeah.
to help people move through or work through their thought process. What is my life about? What could I do that might to make my dreams come true?
Yeah.
How did you come up with those 8 topics, and which one's your favorite?
Oh wow, that's gonna be really hard. That's really, really hard. But I've read so many self-help books. In my library at home, I probably have over 100 self-help books. And what makes a self-help book great? I don't know, but I realized that I didn't want someone to read my book and then just put it back on the shelf and say, oh, that was nice. I wanted to be more interactive, and I thought, wow, if I could include a challenge at the end of every chapter, then it's going to mean more. Because if we can write things down, then it all of a sudden becomes more alive within us. So that was the whole idea behind that.
Yes, and as I was reading it this weekend, I was jotting down notes in my head and on paper, because I wanted to leave the book pristine and read it over and over again and say, oh, next year this would be a good time to pull it out again.
Sure.
And revisit my goals, my aspirations. So you did a great job, I think, in outlining it and challenge us to really move forward in our dreams.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm really curious, and maybe there's some fishermen in the audience. I know that I read about you are a bass fisherman.
I am.
Is that something that runs in your family? Is that your dad? I mean, where did you get that?
So when I lived,
I'm curious. I want to fish. I'm not a fisherman.
I'll take you.
Yes,
I'll take
okay,
you.
I would love that.
When I was a kid, I was, as you know, I grew up in Chile. And for those of you who don't know, I grew up in South America in Chile. And as a young little boy, I followed my dad everywhere. He was my best friend. And my dad loved fishing. So whether I liked it or not as a little kid, I grew to love it. And I just followed him everywhere he went to go fishing. And so it just kind of became something innate as a little kid that, hey, if you're an Aroca boy, you love fishing. And then coming here to the States, we continued in that love of fishing, and then a few years ago I got into bass fishing, and I was hooked. And my brother's bass fish, my daughter's bass fish, my wife, everybody I know. That's closely associated with me.
Hashtag live the life.
That's right. That's a huge part of it.
And what's on the docket in the future for hashtag live the life?
I'm currently working on a book for leadership. How to live the life with leadership principles.
Using those 4 that you actually talk about
Yes.
behind the 8 challenges that we have in the book, and then there's 4 direct.
Yeah, I call them the 4 core principles to living the life.
Yes.
And they're really simple, but they're very hard to actually implement correctly. One of them is dream more, learn more, do more, and become more.
Yes. Thank you so much for being on our show
Oh,
today.
thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It is a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and to get to know you more. I hope that the studio audience has gotten to know you more, and your personal nature. It really is weaved in your book too. The comfort level and the writing is very conversational, so I found it very easy to read. Thank you so much. ArocAroca.com is where you can find his book and buy it online.
Thank you so much.